Right, we'll continue with our July unrest coverage that rocked the country a year ago, leaving over 300 people dead, infrastructure destroyed and businesses looted. Today we zone in on Tongaat residents who sealed off the entrance to the CBD there to prevent looters from gaining entrance to it. My colleagues Xoli Mngambi and reporter Ziyanda Ngcobo are following the story. Of course, Xoli, very good morning to you. You'll be speaking to Tongaat CPF chairperson on the impact of the unrest to the town a year later since the incident took place.
Indeed, Mpho, a very good morning to you. As you've mentioned, we're coming to you live from the milling town of Tongaat. And the reason I say milling is because the Tongaat Hewlett's, that's the company that produces sugar. It is based here, in fact, just a stone's throw from where we are. Reason I am talking to you from outside the Fairbreeze Hotel. I'm just going to step aside, Mpho, so that you can see exactly the damage that occurred here a year ago. The Fairbreeze Hotel, we are told, it used to employ about 30 people. And if you are able to see in your picture there, it's got a pub and tab element to it, or an extension to it. That was a liquor outlet attached to this hotel. Completely looted at the time. It was on the night of the 11th of July when this occurred, and the owner simply said, you know what, I'm not going to rebuild here ever again. And so those 30 people basically out of jobs now, Mpho. Let me talk to the Tongaat Community Policing Chairperson Forum. That is Nazir Sadek, who joins me now to talk us through just some of what we see here. Nazir, you were telling me all this information I've just conveyed to Mpho about the people that used to be employed here, but there are also some positive stories that have come from the looting. Just down the road, it is one of the USave stores. It's just recently reopened its doors.
Correct. Good morning. Thank you for this. Yes, so as you said, we have the Fairbreeze Hotel on the background of us. That was totally gutted during the looting in July. And then we also have to the left of us, a little down the road, we have the USave supermarket, which was also totally gutted. However, they've just rebuilt, and about 2 weeks ago, those doors actually just opened, which is an absolute positive for the community around us, because this community around us literally had to take taxis down to the central Tongaat or to the Belito area to get their shopping done. As a result, especially for the low income, it was hurting their pockets a hell of a lot, and some of them couldn't afford it to actually get to the neighboring towns.
Talk to us about the effort that this community had to go through in order to protect itself. My colleague Mpho saying this town had to be almost sealed off by people like yourself, the Community Policing Forum, in order for the looters to not come through. Why do you think the community stood up so quickly? Because the looting did happen, but it's quickly after that that you guys rallied together.
I think the looting actually started on the night of the 11th, and a lot of the community was unaware of what was actually going on, because it started at around 8 o'clock that night. And it continued right through to the next morning, and only in the morning when the community awoke did they actually realize, listen, this is what's going on via the relevant WhatsApp groups and the neighborhood watch groups, etc. And I think the community actually then stood up and said, listen, we need to protect our homes, we need to protect our towns, and that is when the community members actually got together and they sealed off roads and protected businesses within the Tongaat community.
Yeah. Wrapping it up, Nazir, the story of Phoenix, we all know about it. We don't need to go back there. The racial tensions between the black community and the Indian community. How were you able to avoid that occurring here?
I think one of the key things is that the community didn't engage. And that was one of the key aspects of what protected this town, in that we didn't become vigilantes, the CPF, nor did the residents of Tongaat become vigilantes. And I'm not saying Phoenix did that. They did what they needed to do to protect their homes and their businesses. But we let the security companies and the SAP deal with the actual looters itself, and we just provided some kind of backup for them, and basically the community just protected their homes and protected their areas itself.
Nazir Sadek, thank you very much for your time. Chairperson of the Tongaat Community Policing Forum there, Mpho. And as you've mentioned earlier, Ziyanda Ngcobo looking into the township of KwaMashu, the people there complaining about the lack of assistance that is coming from government, or that they expect to come from government on the back of this looting. Ziyanda, what are you seeing and hearing from your side?
Yeah, Xoli, townships such as KwaMashu were not only affected by the July unrest, but more recently now the floods that ravaged this particular province. And, when it comes to the township economy, you'll know that a lot of the businesses tend to be informal. And so when it comes to getting assistance from the government, it also becomes difficult then to sometimes prove the kind of business that you were doing. And actually, it's interesting that we had the Sasria CEO then on our channel this morning speaking about that, because it has a material impact then, Sandile Sangweni, the chairperson of the KwaMashu Business Forum, on the way in which then this particular area has been able to recover since not only the unrest, but we're in a hall where you actually even housing donations as a result of the floods. Just how difficult has it been in the last year?
Firstly, Sandy Lesang, spokesperson for KwaMashu Business Chamber. It has been extremely difficult, obviously, for SMMEs, being small businesses and not having that much support in terms of business opportunities within the area that they live in. But with the little that they've got and the little that they've had, they've tried to get their businesses back after the looting. And then, unfortunately, we had the flooding. But within that little and that devastation that has happened in the little that they have, they've managed to put this together. We, on a weekly basis and on a daily basis, we're managing about 28 centers, which is about 5,800 mouths that we need to feed, meals that we need to provide on a daily basis since the flooding. And this is coming from these SMMEs within the community trying to help. A lot of big corporates has also come along. Coca-Cola was the post office in gathering all the flood relief donations that are coming from Gauteng. They've partnered with us, taxi industries. They've been affected after the looting. Obviously, since we lost a lot of malls, they lost a lot of businesses. And a lot of them had to take their taxes back, and a lot of them have tried to create new routes so that they have some kind of income, because they were affected badly. And a lot of them, especially within the KwaMashu Business Chamber, we've partnered. We've got the KwaMashu Taxi Association being part of us, being part of the KwaMashu Business Chamber, as well as the Greater North, which is from Umgin all the way to the border. So that taxi association is also part of the KwaMashu Business Chamber, and we work hand in hand with them. So they've been very instrumental in putting this program together and in helping the community to get back on its feet here.
So you're talking about new ways in which to create opportunities. What about restoration? So for an example, Bridge City, KwaMashu was also one of those that was looted, which has meant then that some residents have to travel all the way to Gateway just to get basic goods. Has there been some semblance of restoration, or are you as the KwaMashu Business Chamber now focusing on creating new opportunities and leaving what was burnt to the ground and let sleeping dogs lie, essentially?
There has been restoration. If you start in KwaMashu Station, the KwaMashu Shopping Center, where Spar and a whole lot of other chain stores are there. That's together with the SMMEs, local SMMEs, we came together, we helped in the restoration of that. So that center in May was handed over to the developer and the owner of the center. It's opening, it's fully operational. So that has that positive spin also. The taxi rank just across from that has been operational now. Obviously, since now they've got traffic coming to that particular center. We're now in process of speaking with government to rebuild the Itala Center, which is next to it, which is on obviously Itala, which is an SOE. Bridge City will be open in May 2023, and that's in partnership with the big contractors and local SMMEs are working on restoring that. So the restoration process has started in Bridge City as well. Yeah.
All right, that's Sandile Sang when he speaks for the KwaMashu Business Forum. A lot of restoration work that is currently being done, but also new opportunities being created. As I've mentioned, we're in a hall here in KwaMashu where not only is this the nerve center for the recovery efforts since the July unrest, but now it mustn't be lost on us the fact that this province was also ravaged by floods, which has had an impact then on just how quickly businesses and the community are able to recover against the backdrop as well, against a worsening economy, rising poverty, unemployment and inequality.
Very well, Ziyanda Ngcobo, as well as Xoli Mngambi. Let's wrap it up for now, as of course we continue to keep a close eye on the developments in the wake of the reflection of the July unrest. How far our businesses and communities will catch up with you throughout the course of this morning.